Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing my July 2018 budget. I'm going to change the format a little bit. I've discovered that doing a monthly budget isn't working for me because I really budget paycheck by paycheck. My husband and I are still saving up for our home, which is currently being built. What you'll see here is only my half of the budget. We don't have a combined bank account. So this is my income and the bills that I pay with it. And so you also won't see a large amount of savings because I pick up a good chunk of the bills because I'm the bigger bread earner. So let's get started. I do use some stickers. Oh, before I go too far, in case you're new, I use an Erin Condren Deluxe Monthly Planner. And then I do this page after the monthly preview. So, like I said, I'm somewhat decorative, like enough to give it a little bit of something, not a whole lot of something. And I'm also trying a different filming setup, so please let me know if this works better for what you can see. And here, bear in mind, my dog is playing, or my husband is playing with my dog in the background, so if you hear some, lovely panting or slurping, that's him going to town on his water, or just playing in general. That didn't lay down the way I wanted it to. That still is so not right, and that one's going to drive me batty. I'm going to have to live with it. Okay. So what I am setting up differently is like how I'm budgeting. Like I said, the monthly really wasn't working for me. So I technically budget paycheck by paycheck. So in the month of July, I'm going to have 2 paychecks. I'll get paid July 6th and July 20th. So what I'm going to set up at the top is my income. And then I'm going to have just trying to think. So this is 7/6 budget, actual, budget, actual. I was kind of, alright, and that would be 7/20. So those are my 2 paydays. Ideally, I would have wanted that centered over those 2, but we'll go with it. So the incomes that I have are WFL, which is my primary income, my main job. I will have OT. I do like to try to track that separately. If I have enough hours, I do request it on a separate check, which unfortunately I have enough hours. I get cell money reimbursement from both my mom, my husband, and my aunt, because I pay the family share plan and then they reimburse me. And then I have other. So that can be any number of things. In this case, that's where I'm going to throw like my LBS, which is my flexible spending reimbursements, and whatever other miscellaneous incomes that I get. So let's just finish a little neater setup. I'll fine tune this as I go. So I'll put in the numbers after I finish the setup. So the next thing I'm going to put in is I'm going to put in a divider, and then I'm going to put in my expenses. Let's go with, oh, that's what I forgot to write. Total. Totals usually help. And then total. So I do run a zero-based. So everything that I earn will be designated for something. Primarily right now, since we're in huge savings mode, it's going to be for the new house. And then all right, that did not rip as cleanly as I had hoped. All right, so on to expenses. So I'm gonna have the budget and actual for 7/6, and the budget and actual for 7/20. So they'll still kind of be in line. So just shorthand a little bit so that I can fit everything in here. And I'm only doing the label on the one side. So my expenses are gas, daycare, which is super expensive, and my budget absorbs it. Chiropractor. I see him quite frequently. My husband does. Supplements. That's the supplements that I typically get from my chiropractor. Personal money, which I have started adding into my budgets because I was finding that being gazelle intense and just not giving myself any money just wasn't working. I was still spending it. I just didn't have a budget on it, so I threw the budget out the window pretty much every time. Groceries. Occasionally I have to pick groceries up. Typically it's my husband, but every once in a while I have to do it, like when he's out of town. Sinking funds. I have a number of sinking funds that we've set aside for like our car insurance, Amazon Prime, my Easy Pass, which is a toll pass in New York State, car maintenance, and eventually repair and replace. One for our dog, one for our daughter, another one for Christmas gifts, and then another one for doggy daycare, because he desperately needs to go to doggy daycare. Then I have Dollar Shave Club. I have Grove Collaborative. I buy a number of my cleaning supplies through Grove. I have NYSEG, which is the electrical on the garage that's at my rental. Verizon Wireless, which is our cell phones. The mortgage on the rental. Northwest Mutual, which is my life insurance, which I have to reevaluate. Other, so this is more like the unbudgeted category. I don't necessarily budget something for it, but it's a placeholder. And then save. And this is the line item that gets the balance of the budget. So, and then a total. So let's get this. Okay. All right, and then finish a little bit of my setup because for some reason I do better with lines. I don't know why. It just makes my brain happy. So try not to grab the stickers. Alright, these lines aren't going to line up. That's not going to make my brain happy. But I'll figure it out for next time, because like I said, this is a new one. Hi, bud. Why don't you go play with Daddy? Babe? Yeah. Dog? He likes to visit. Alright, so let's move into numbers. So for my job, we run on a July 1 to June 30th fiscal year. So my raise goes into effect with the 7/6 paycheck, since we don't have to worry about retro because we get approved before the end of the year, which is abnormal. I'm estimating that to be $611. $1,611, sorry. I found the tax withholding tables for Fed and state, and I calculated it, and it should be around there with all my deductions. I don't mind sharing my real numbers because my salary is public. So, overtime, I did the calculation for what I'm getting. I think it was $250 for this one, and maybe $400 for the next one. I'm getting into the mandatory overtime. Sell money is $183. I get it at the beginning of the month. It's due. I tell them it's due the 2nd, so for the bill due the 2nd, and I know I'm not going to get any on the 20th. Other, I know the $650 that I have scheduled, and I have no additional budgeted. And then LBS I just don't count on. Well, I call it LBS. My husband has a flex as well, and that money's actually going to come to me because I usually shell out the money for the health expenses, and he's going to pick up the rest of them. So I'll fill in the actuals when I'm done. So 1611 plus 250 plus 183 plus 650 equals 2,694 for 7/6, and 1611 and 400, 2,011 for 720. This is what I'm estimating I'm going to get in, so that's what I'm going to break out my budgets for. So for 7/6, I have gas set up as 120 because I'm going to work an extra day. I have to accommodate an additional gas fill up. Daycare is $578 for 2 weeks. For this one, due to my chiropractor schedule, we're only getting 1 week in. Supplements, it's $25 every paycheck. That may change. Personal, it's $20, and no anticipated grocery pickup. Sinking funds for 7/6 is $80, and that's only for doggy daycare. My husband and I pre-buy a package. As of right now, we've saved up enough to pre-buy a 10-day package, and soon we'll save up enough to pre-buy a 20-day package, which is the biggest package they offer. Dollar Shave Club, I have as $29.16. It'll be paid out of this one. Grove's another one. I'm going to estimate 30. I try to keep it under 30 when I do my orders from Grove. 25 estimate for NYSEG, which is electric. Verizon is $253. That's rounded up. It's usually $252 and change, and it changes every billing just about, so I just let it go. And I round up to budget. Mortgage is always $69.05. Northwest Mutual is always $69.05. Sorry, mortgage is always $611. All right, not anticipating any others. So I need to get my total to be $2,694. I had done the math and then I changed numbers, so bear with me. Okay, and then turn that into -1926. So all this that I have listed is $1,926.21. So that leaves me an estimate of $767.79 for savings. For some reason that math doesn't... Oh, I know why. In my initial calculations, I had included an overtime check, and this time I am. I've decided to exclude my flexible spending as a budgeted item, and just when it gets to me, because it's been inconsistent as to when it gets to me. So we'll see what happens with that. moving on to 7/20. So the bulk of my bills are all paid with the first paycheck of the month. By the time I get to August, which is a 3-paycheck month, I'll technically be paying my bills 2 months. But that's because I want to get to the point that I'm a month ahead. So going forward, all these bills that are only once a month, so the Dollar Shave Club, the Grove, the NYSEG, the Verizon, the mortgage, and the life insurance will all be paid or money will be set aside for them in advance. And then on 7/20, I have $120 for gas again, assuming, of course, prices don't drop, hopefully. Daycare would be the same. I'll have 2 chiropractor visits, same amount for supplements, same amount for personal, no anticipated groceries. Sinking funds will be $514. This is where all my sinking funds get some sort of contribution. Dollar Shave Club would have been paid, so nothing. Grove would have been paid. NYSEG, Verizon, mortgage, Northwest Mutual, not planning on any others. And that leaves the balance for savings. So 20, 578, 172, 25 and 20, plus 514. So this totals up to be $1,429. And then the 2011 minus 1429. That leaves me an estimate of $582 that I should be able to save if everything were to stay as planned. You know, the amount of time I put in for overtime can fluctuate. I'll have a more precise number on my actual earnings. It shouldn't be much different than what that is. Just because, like I said, I did the calcs. Cell phone, that's changing a smidge, but again, that's taxes and insurance and who owes me what and how I break that out. That's a consistent monthly payment to offset the mortgage payment down here. Well, the mortgage, and I guess technically it does do this, even though the garage is mine and I actually have to deal with that. But that's it. I'm not actually going to do an August preview this time just because it's pretty much consistent. These bills, right? These 4 bills are my consistent bills. These 5 items are my consistent cash amounts. So when I do my August budget, you'll just see my August budget. Sinking funds, this is the last time it's going to be so high. It's this high because we've been throwing at least $300 for this will be the 3rd month, into a savings fund for our dogs because he's getting neutered. This month, he's actually going to get neutered right the day before my payday, so we'll put it on the credit card and then pay the credit card right off. But that's it. I don't currently have a plan for the sidebar right here. I'm sure I'll figure something out. I'm going to attempt once again to track my budget and my spending on my cash items, which I did not note. So cash, 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 and cash. So I indicate cash in that, like, I have a specific budget and I try not to go over it. The gas is on my debit card. Daycare, I call it my cash budget because it's consistent. Chiropractic, I pay on the debit card, but it's a cash budget, same with supplements. Personal is cash. I went off of cash in June and I struggled a lot. And groceries is cash. Again, do better when it's cash in hand, and this is all I can spend. So, but that's it for my July budget. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.